palace. So let's tell you about palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earning for a goal of elevation. Just passing the team over here might finish that bright future we can't vanish. It's E25 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Okay, that froze like a million times for me. I don't know if it did for you as well.
It did a little bit.
All right, anyway,
Just a
guys,
little bit.
welcome back to Eagle Eye Football and welcome back to another episode of TACT-EAGLE.
Jeez.
TACT-EAGLE. Yeah, another UEFA Conference League game, another week of European nights at Selhurst Park, which is always a good thing. And to be fair, looking forward to this one again.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know about you, Dan, but this team and Larnaca, who we've played previously, both played each other in the Conference League already this season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be quite interesting to see how we play against each team.
Mm-hmm.
And how they played against each other and how things went. But to be fair, as a quick prediction, I don't know about your side, but I reckon it'll be a very similar game to the Larnaca game, if I'm really honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think ultimately it just depends, because I've watched some games. So ultimately it depends whether the manager decides to play like they have in the games I've seen, or, you know, low block us again.
Yeah.
Basically.
But yeah, Dan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I say I'm excited for this game as well. You say European nights at Selhurst. They don't happen very often, as we all know. And also, I feel like RZ is like no offense to maybe like some of the teams we have, but obviously we lost to one of them. But like, I think RZ are probably a name that a lot of people will recognise. A lot of people would have heard of RZ Alkmaar. Not saying I haven't heard of Dynamo Kiev, to be fair, but RZ is like maybe a team that you associate with like European nights. I suppose you would with Dynamo Kiev as well. But I feel like a lot of people see RZ as a difficult fixture because they have heard of them and they know that they are a decent team. And it'd be interesting to see their fans at our place as well. Obviously, we had Larnaca. I think a lot of the Larnaca support were already in London. And I know RZ will travel in quite good numbers to this game. And it'll be a bit surreal seeing Dutch ultras on South Norwood High Street. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited. It's going to be good. Yeah, just enjoy it. That's my say for the day.
To be fair, that's exactly what I thought. I thought, oh, I've heard of AZ Alkmaar. They're probably going to be one of the apart from Strasbourg, probably the hardest game in our group.
Yeah.
And then I look back and I see, Larnaca smashed them 4-0. And you go, oh, you never know. But
yeah,
obviously, right now, we'll get into it a little bit more later, but they're doing quite well in their domestic league so far this season. I think so. They're third in the table, in the Dutch table, ahead of Ajax. I think the only people ahead of them are Feyenoord and PSV.
Yeah, sounds about, yeah.
This season, they've played 11 games, 7 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. With a plus 11 goal difference. Like I said, they lost 4-0 to Larnaca, but they have got an average of 2.2 goals per 90, conceding 1.2 goals per 90, so they do like a goal, whether that's late or really early on in the game, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit more. Leading and they've committed 3 penalties so far this year in all comps, which is in 11 games, that's like 1 every 3 games.
Yeah, that. Yeah, some of the highlights I watched, there was a couple of penalties knocking around in there.
But let us get into L predicted 11.
Choice.
So I'll go through some injuries really quickly. The usual suspects: Chadi Riyad, knee injury, 22nd of this month. Check Decore on the 8th of this month. So in 4 days, potentially, he'll be back for Brighton. I doubt it.
No, I doubt it. I'm sure Glasner said that I'm sure he had a setback, or maybe he was due at the beginning of the season and then had. Yeah, I'm not sure because I haven't seen any.
Preminjuries.com is still saying the 8th. And
All right.
if we haven't even seen a picture of him touching grass, I don't think he's going to be on the bench.
Yeah, I don't really want to see a picture of him touching grass. Not gonna lie.
Not that kind of grass, you donut.
Moving on
swiftly. Kayla Kapora, back injury, no return date. Eddie Nketiah's got a thigh injury. He'll be back on the 22nd, so he's out for pretty much this whole month. So he's going to miss a lot of games. And Adam Wharton to illness, but it does say he'll be returning for this game. Hopefully he's been on the Nurophens, on the cold and flus, and he's given it to someone else and he's not got it anymore. Moving on to AZ Alkmaar. Obviously, we don't have preminjuries.com because they don't work. They're not Premier League, but they have got 2 injuries in Sia Maikuma, who's a right back, knee injury, no return date. He's not the starting right back. He is normally a backup. Same thing with the striker Mex Merdink.
Yeah,
he's got a groin injury. He's got no return date as well, but he is also not one of their starting lineup players.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, one of the players that they've actually got for their team, we were linked with a few months ago, and I said to Dan, "This guy is quality." But I'll go into a little bit more of that later. So, predicted 11s. I have gone basically full strength again. So I've gone Henderson, Mitchell, Gay, Lacroix, Richards, Munoz, with Kamada, Wharton in the middle, with Pino, Sarr, and John Philippe Mateta up top.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The only thing you could say maybe is the classic Canvo for Richards, but to be honest, I think we need to win this game. If we don't win this game, it is looking a bit squeaky bum time because our next game will then be Strasbourg, which is going to be a very difficult game away from home. And then obviously then we do have Shelbourne and Cups, but realistically...
In a funny way, I think Chairman said this to me the other day, because we struggle so much against low blocks, a team that actually plays football against us, we play much better at. Do you think we might, in a funny way, be more comfortable against Strasbourg because they will play football against us? Just as a quick
that's a good question. I think we'll be able to play our game more for sure, but then at the same time, Strasbourg will have a lot more quality to hurt us. Like no disrespect to Lonica, they played very well, but ultimately they scored from a defensive mistake. Do you know what I mean? So, if you replay that game exactly with the same chances 9 times out of 10, we probably win that game.
And also, to me, as an early prediction, Strasbourg stinks of 1-0 Strasbourg and Chilwell scores. That's what it stinks of to me.
Yeah, and fair play to Rafinha. He obviously was at Hull, got sacked, probably rightfully, actually, to be honest. And then has done well in Strasbourg, and then they do play like, they play like brand football. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Some would say maybe too rigid, but they play brand football, and I think, and also realistically as well, they were 2 games off playing Champions League football, so they're not crap. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they do have good players. Obviously, they're with Chelsea in the Blueco sphere. So not only that, but they've also got. I think the thing is they've got much better quality than even AZ, to be honest.
100%. And also, if the player that they loaned from Nottingham Forest didn't give away a penalty, they would, like you said, they would be playing Europa or Champions League football.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure they were in the Champions League spot until 2 games before, and then obviously they bottled it. But who knows? Maybe them bottling it is a good thing for us. Who knows?
Maybe. Going on to their team now, they play a 4-3-3 flat. So that midfield three is completely rigid. So it is three number eights, but it is much more of a rotational midfield. So at all times there'll be at least one sitting. So you'd have one of them acting as a 6, and the rest of them will be acting as 8s, where they'll be going forward. So all of them are really box to box kind of players, but they've got enough know-how for one of them to sit at all times, and the rest will go, and then they'll add to the attack. So that's why I've got it as a flat 3, because either one of them can go and either one of them can sit. But I have gone with Suwu Odora in goal, with DeWitt, Penetra, Goes, and Casillas in the midfield. At the right back in the midfield, I've got Keys Smith, Mijnans, which is quite a funny name, and Cop Miners, with Jensen, Parrot, and Patiti, yeah, up front. Basically, what I've done is I've just picked the exact team they beat. Was it Sparta? It wasn't Sparta Prague. It was like Sparta
Rotterdam.
Yeah, Sparta Rotterdam. I just picked the same 11.
Yeah. That's fair.
Do you want to have a go at their bench, mate?
Yeah, go on in. So goalkeeper Zoet. Number 4, Desmond Decker. 11, Sadiq Khan. Number 12, Verhulst. 14, Natali. Chavez, Quackman. Do you reckon he ducks for headers?
Get out of here, man.
22. The J is silent, by the way. So it's like silent, I think. So actually, number 10 is my nans, and 22 is Dijkstra. Maybe it's an E. So it's me nans.
My nans is
me
funny.
Nans. 25 is Zeke fuck. 27 is Takadal, and 33 is It's a Sin.
Did you pick the same team, mate?
Yeah. I just got off, I think, one of their recent games.
Yeah. Do you want to take us through some commentinos?
Yeah. Big up the dog. Note Hamada in the under-23 squad suggests he'll be on the bench on Thursday. So I believe the bench is 12 people, 2 of whom are goalkeepers. So,
is he in our squad that we picked? Do you know?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Because I know that you've got like pot 1 and pot 2 of the players that you can pick. Isn't it? I don't know if he gets. I don't think he gets into the youth one, does he? I think he's too old.
No, he's too old. Yeah, he's 23, so he's too old.
So
that's a good question. Good question. So Crystal Palace midfielders. No, he's not on there. So, I mean, I don't know how accurate the squad. I presume it's accurate, the squad on the Conference League website, but no, he's not on that. So theoretically, he wouldn't be able to be picked. So the fact he's not in the under-23s is a bit. I don't know what's good. I mean, for him to not even be in the under-21s. Surely there's got to be more to, because he's better than the under-21 players, surely. So there's got to be more to it than.
Is he?
I mean, he played Bundesliga, so like he's better than the under-21s. You know what I mean? He might not be good enough for the Premier League, but like, yeah, something else is obviously must have gone on. Big up chairman. Big up Durfez. SA Uche not on the bench as well. Yeah, I mean, I would fully expect to see them on our bench. Big up Earth. Durfez saying that Decore's out until late November, as per Google. Back to an Uche and Cam as a better counter low block strat. I think we can certainly something we can look at. Maybe just push one of the centre backs just a bit further. That's why like Canva I think is a good option, because he does push into that midfield, because he was doing. I feel like he did that against.
He did it a bit against
Liverpool, wasn't it?
Liverpool, didn't he?
Yeah. Big up Maka Paka. Big fan of the Night Garden, I'm guessing.
But.
And yeah, thank you everyone for the comments.
His ringtone's definitely the Ninky Nonk Rave.
Yeah, straight over my head. No idea.
All right, let's get into the attack. So, I hope it's this one.
Nice.
So, I said to Dan, and I said to all you guys, there's a player in this AZ team that is outstanding. I don't know if you understand this, Dan, but he is the Conor Gallagher of Adam Wharton's. So he's good. He's not quite Wharton, but he's good. And that's number 26. He is an outstanding footballer. Keys Smith. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Really good player. I'd highly suggest you watch even a highlight reel or something of this guy. He is... Imagine if Adam Wharton played like Conor Gallagher.
Okay, nice.
Where he's extremely good with the ball at his feet. He's both-footed. He can pass extremely well. And he's very comfortable going forwards. And for me, the main part of their whole system is this midfield three. It's so simple but so effective that genuinely it's a bit surprising that they haven't been higher up in the Dutch league for. To be fair, they should be like definitely in this title race for the Dutch league, because these three have got 90% of all assists in their team so far this year.
Oh, wow.
And bear in mind, the only other assists have come from the other strikers and the fullbacks. These three alone have been crucial in how they are playing football. And the reason why is because in the Dutch league, they are by far, and I mean by a long way, by at least 3 extra passes per game, far better at progressive passes out of any other team in the Dutch league. These guys pass forwards more than anyone else in that whole league by at least 3 out on average per game. And it's completed passes, not just attempted passes. So, what does that look like? So, when they are in the attack, basically, I will use my Nans as the... I'll use my Nans as the... I use my Nan as the attacking midfielder in this situation. And basically, because their formation is very fluid, basically you will see at all times sort of 6, 8, 10, really. And it's interesting because when the ball is out in a wide position, that fullback will commit as well. So, for example, if the ball's on this side, this fullback will commit. If it's on the other side, this fullback will commit. And when they commit, it's not a commit of, I'll get to the byline down here. They will underlap through here.
Mm-hmm.
Both fullbacks will underlap, and they will all underlap and go into goal-scoring areas. So what they like to do is they're a very counter-attacking kind of team, really. So let's say we've got the ball and we're doing a madness. We're just popping the ball about, ping, ping, ping. You know what? What they'll do is, let's say if they grab the ball, let's say, I don't know, Pino tries to pass to Mateta as he makes a run, goes and gets the ball.
Very good.
Thank you. They will do one of two things. One of their wingers, who are very pacey, by the way, will hit a channel. They will go along, and then we're going to have to run back in and defend it as we normally would. So that's not anything too special. But what does also happen, which is probably what will happen most of the time, he will square up to do this long pass, but he will fire the ball into the striker here, who will make a very slight dart forwards. Oh, I hid the ball behind him. Why is the ball not in front?
Why?
The ball's in front now. Okay, so Parrot will get a yard from the centre back or whoever's marking him. Ball comes in here. Both of the wingers run, and they make like a run straight towards the goal. So if it's a back three, they'll both be standing on someone. The second that he gets the ball, they'll both run this channel in between the centre backs. So they're both in a goal scoring opportunity here. And basically, it's like ping the ball in, one touch back, and then this guy goes over the top. And as that happens, he then follows the attack in. And 9 times out of 10, with the pace that these guys have, they get away from the people in their league. And basically, most of their goals are scored by these guys getting down, keeper being in no man's land, having to press this guy, pass across the box, and rolls in. If you play FIFA, that is a sweaty goal, but it's an effective way of scoring goals. Don't get me wrong. So that's sort of what they do. They're a very, very, very counter-attacking team. But it goes that little bit further as well, because the technical ability of all of their players and the close control is something that you just don't see very often in the Premier League. I don't think any team can do what they can do. So let's say if what they have been doing is in other games where they dominated, and I saw this a lot in the Sparta game when I was watching it, their front line will be moving like this. They'll all be standing as far forwards as they can. Maybe one of their 10s will commit in as well, and it will look like a big mess in the box. And the 2 remaining midfielders, this is where it gets crazy. They do some of the best one-touch football I've seen in a very long time. I think the only time I've seen better one-touch football was probably from Man City a few years ago. Because no matter who presses Koopmeiners and Smith, they are too press resistant on the ball to get the ball off of them. I would highly suggest you watch anything about this Keys Smith guy, Dan. Even if you just put it on your screen right now as I'm talking, he's good. But basically, he's able to do that thing that Wharton can do. So let's say Wharton goes to press him, and he sort of leads with his left foot. Smith is more than able to, when he sees that ball come, he's able to literally put the ball through his legs, take a few steps, and then dart a ball into a player to then just get a shot off. It's like they'll break down a low block just from Smith and Koopmeiners being very, very confident on the ball, very capable of really close control, first time passing, pass, move, make a dummy move, send the player, ball comes in, the other person moves. They're very good at just like creating something out of absolutely nothing. The midfield 3 here is basically what they are doing to get through teams. And apart from like the generic thing of putting the ball in the box, it's not too much else. The main thing here is the midfield. That is where you stop them. So that's how they attack. The only issue is when you look at that, even against Ajax, they played exactly this way. The only issue, though, is when they played Ajax this year, they lost 3-0. So that might lead into our hands a little bit more because they will push forwards. But this is the same thing that we said against Larnaca. They did play this way against other teams in the Conference League. they played like who did Larnaca play against? A bigger team? I think they played against Mines, and they played exactly that way. But for some reason against us, they played a more low block style, which was a big switch up for their usual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we stop it? And I think one thing is you've got to look at that Ajax game a little bit more. Why did they really struggle against Ajax? Hold on a minute. And also, why did they struggle against Larnaca? And I'll tell you why. They haven't beaten a back three with this manager in a very long time. They haven't beaten a back three since the middle of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon that is because of all their intricate running and all of this, with all of their players trying to pin the centre backs, trying to drop deep, get some space. My guess is that they're normally used to playing a back four, where if the striker drops in, the centre back never follows them because they have to hold the line.
Mm-hmm.
With us, we can commit a centre back forwards and still have a back four, which is what we do with Lacroix. He likes chasing centre back in. Mark Gay does it. Chris Richards does it. So with that back three, we're able to stop that initial trigger for how they go forwards. That centre forward drops, our centre back goes with him. In that case, he has to be very good on the ball. He has to be very strong to hold off our centre back, and he has to also find the pass. Whereas with a back four, the centre he'll go. He won't have any pressure on the ball, and also the wingers will have one less person to deal with if the centre back does follow him in. So in a weird way, we sort of just through our formation alone, we can sort of nullify a little bit there. Not saying get rid of it completely. It will still be effective. Don't get me wrong, because the players are still high quality. They play in Europe every single year, but it's still one way that we can stop. Obviously, following the runners, they like to run in behind a lot. They like to play against the high line. I do think that just the pace of Lacroix and Gay and Richards will get us around that. Their forwards are fast. They're not incredibly fast, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But what I would say is, it's probably more into Dan's thing, is that because they look to exploit a high line, they have to sort of play a high line themselves, which we could lean into quite a bit. They do have quite an elaborate press. You talk about the press.
I've got screenshots of it, yeah.
So what I would say is for their press and how to defend against the press, I wouldn't say everyone floods forwards, but a lot of their players flood forwards. Then there's always a space sort of in the pocket between the halfway line and sort of 10 yards out of the D. So if Henderson or Gay or someone could clip the ball into that area and Mateta could drop deep onto it, we could play through the press with one pass over the top. Or even if Wharton's feeling fancy, I bet you he could ping a ball on the floor and get it to him as well. But other than that, I don't think there's too much else to say, really, other than their midfield is the main thing in this game. We play a 2, they've got a very, very good 3. Our midfielders are going to have to be on top game to even get a sniff in this game. And if there's going to be any consolation here, try and stop Keith Smith from playing football.
That's so. What would you do? Would you say put someone else who, or have Pino drop a bit, or?
I don't think. So put it this way, I think he's good, but he's still a very young, raw talent. So what I would say is that I wouldn't say man mark him, because I think that he's got that individual quality to get around that. He would be able to find space in a different place. His position is normally the left side of that midfield, but there's been many times where he shows up on the right side of that midfield. So he's sort of all over the place. Same thing with all their centre midfielders. What I would say is that when he is got the ball and then he looks up and he's under pressure, that's when he starts to misplace his passes. So I wouldn't say give him that treatment of stand on him the whole game, don't let him play, because he'll always be on high alert. But we have to remember he's 19. I'm not saying anything like as a good or bad age, but he's 19. He hasn't played too much first team football. And obviously, if he's always under pressure, he's always going to be on high alert. But if he gets the ball and he feels relaxed and he turns around and he sees Adam Wharton sprinting at him, he will misplace that pass.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's a thing of like, oh, just leave him alone. Because if you leave him alone, he'll run the game.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't say stand on him because he'll always be on high alert. And like with teenagers, like we've seen it with Romain Esse, with Camvo. If they're stagnant, they'll just lose focus. So if you just leave him to do his thing, then the second he gets on the ball, press him. He is more than good enough to find that way through. Don't get me wrong, but there are times where he will misplace a pass.
Yeah, inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like with age, with more experience, he'll get around that, and then this way of playing against him wouldn't work. But he's very good defensively. He's quite short, but he's strong on the ball. So I'd just say be quite intense when you're trying to tackle him, and don't take him for granted, because even though he is 19, he is. I wouldn't say he has the ability. He's probably too early to say, but it wouldn't surprise me if let's say we did look to buy him because we were interested. It would not surprise me if he would cost us 35, 40 million pounds if we were looking to buy him. He's that good, and he will be amazing. And also, he's got really high potential on FIFA. So if you want someone, on FIFA, get him.
What about on Football Manager? That's always the if he's a wonder kid on Football Manager as well.
I have no idea. I don't play Football Manager.
No, I mean neither.
But if you're looking at the tabloid or the media, AZ Alkmaar fans say he's the nuts, and I think that there's talk of Real Madrid want him or something along those lines. I think.
Yeah, Mary said that. Big up, Mary. Yeah, Real Madrid are interested in signing him. But yeah, Ittel's saying sign him in January. Saying Oz are third in their league, so we need to be on our guard. Absolutely, they can definitely catch us out. Top-rated players are Troy Parrott, Sven Mynans, and Keith Smith. Watch out for their current top goal scorer. Yeah, Troy Parrott's currently their top goal scorer at the moment. Apparently, JT, you're Smith 10 by Smith.
Ooh. So apparently, out of all teenagers in FM, the new one that is, he has got the fourth highest rating of all teenagers. So he's only behind Yamal, Kapasi.
Yeah,
and I don't know who that is.
Who's the third one? What's his name?
Paz. Who's Paz?
Oh, Nico Paz. Yeah, he plays for Como. He's been very, very good this year. He's been very, very good under Cesc Fabregas at Como. One to watch there for sure. Big up the dog. Uche better play tomorrow. Thursday we play. Not Wednesday. Uche needs to play Thursday. FM 26 looks a bit rubbish. To be honest, I've never really gotten into FM. Not because I don't like it or anything. I find it too overwhelming. So I just, I'm not really into it.
I tried playing it once, and I just got a headache, and I said, you know what? I'm better at FIFA. So I just did a manager mode on that.
Just play FIFA.
Just play FIFA. Well, it's not FIFA anymore. It's FC.
Yeah, FC. Yeah, rubbish.
FIFA's gone woke as well.
Utter woke nonsense.
Yeah, let us go into some of how AZ Alkmaar defend.
Defense. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to start from a high press, and then go along like a slider. So, as JC said, they do have quite an elaborate press. So if I put us over here, they will press high and they'll press very aggressively. They commit a lot of players forwards. Actually, you know what? Forget this. It's better if I just show you on here. This is easier rather than me dragging all that around. So This is against Feyenoord. Feyenoord are in the red. No, sorry, Feyenoord are in the black. Sorry, AZ are in the red. I've actually been to this stadium. I went there when I went to Amsterdam. Ajax weren't playing when I was there, so I had to settle for AZ. Decent stadium. Atmosphere's a bit meh, but it was decent. Anyways, so as you can see here, it's like a hybrid system. You've got, that's a final player. So you got one, oh, whoops, what's happened there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the press. And as you'll see in a minute, you'll see some other players at the back. So it is like a hybrid. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a classic striker's going to go there because they're going to pass to the goalkeeper. So the striker is then going to go run and split the pitch as it is. A lot of teams do this. We do this. And basically what it is you're blocking off this pass here. So, and the reason why they call it splitting the pitch is because you're blocking off this way here. You've got this part of the pitch to aim at, basically. So they do that. Player runs in. As you can see here, this player's going to run. And I think where they really want to try and catch you is when your double pivots try to drop. That's the kind of feeling that I got from it. So they run in. And then this double pivot, who moved from there. As he moves, this player moves as well. Passes it into this player. Now, and this is going to get me into the first bit of how do we play against them, because theoretically that's a good thing to try and do. Like realistically, that could be us. This could be I don't know. That's Mitchell. That's Gay. That's Lacroix. That's Richards. That's Wharton and Kamada in the middle. Now, the only thing I will say about RZ's press is if you are quite quick, I think you can play around it quite easily. And if you're smart about how you get out of it, it's very, very easy. Now, this is Feyenoord. So what do they do? So the ball's fired into this midfielder here. And then what you actually see is this player here running on, and they're going that way. So literally, bang, bang, 2 passes, and they've taken out 5 players. And you can see it there. Pass around here. Don't get me wrong, it's a difficult thing to do, but I think Kamada could do that. I don't see why he couldn't. Or if you flip it the other way round, don't see why Adam Wharton couldn't do it. And then suddenly you're running here. Now, the only difficult thing I would say is that RZ, I felt like we're quite good at not like standing people up and slowing transitions. But ideally, in this situation, you'd obviously want someone quite quick. So I don't know. Maybe we should drop. Maybe Sar should drop perhaps, and Munoz push up a bit. So then Sar's able to pick it up and run. I don't know. Maybe it could be Munoz perhaps. I mean, it could be Chris Richards running into space and then passing into someone perhaps. But either way, they've got a situation of 1, 2, 3, 4 players. To be fair, this player ends up recovering very well. 4 players versus 5. Okay, it's not an overload, but at least it's a good situation. And then they end up in this situation. And this is what I was saying about how they had their 5 players here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you get here, this player was actually over here. So it's actually more like they have like a 3-2 like defense. So if I was to show you on the tactics board per se, it would be something like these 5 players would be these 5 players would be committed forwards, and then this player would look like that. So these players would like be on the press, and then these lot would be here basically. Obviously not in this setup. I've just shown you what it'd be like. And as JC said, there is a gap between these areas, which can be exploitable. And one team who did do that actually a little bit was, so I've got loads, Levski Sofia. So this, to be fair, this isn't like a high press from RZ per se, but literally all they do is lob this ball over here, and then you can see that gap between these lines. So obviously this is one line of pressure. These are your midfielders, and then those are the attackers, right? So those are your three lines of pressure. You've got this player here. I mean, no disrespect to Levski for Sofia, but they didn't have the quality to make this count, really. But, you can imagine that being Mateta. Jeremy Pino's there. And I think they make a much better chance of that because, Mateta, he can do one of two things there. And this is something I noticed with AZ as well, is that they're like when these players come to meet, they're kind of like semi-aggressive, and they're not. What I'm trying to say is like there's a time between this player getting to that player and not. They're not like this player isn't going to jump out whilst this ball's in the air to go and meet them. It's only really when they get the ball that they then go to try and meet them. So they give you a bit more time than I think. I don't think that's good in terms of the defensive strategy, in my opinion. You want to be onto them straight away, but in this case they weren't. And Mateta brings that down, passes it off. He's good enough to even turn, and then suddenly you're running at just your four defenders there. So that is a possibility. But what happens when you? What happens when you bypass their press? So let's say you do bypass their press, and it's not that threatening. Blah blah blah. What do they do? So they go into more of a mid press. That's still there, isn't it? Yeah. They go into more of a mid press. So you've got their defensive line there. You've got, I'm not really too sure. I think this is one of the midfielders who has stepped up. So you've got two midfielders there, winger, striker. And it looks something a bit more like that. And they won't really engage with you until you pass the halfway line. Okay. And what do they actually try to do? So as you can see here, they got the ball. It's passing it around. This player's gone to engage. Okay, I know it's just over the halfway line, but there or thereabouts. And this player's going to pass it to this player here. Got the ball. And as soon as that player receives the ball, this is what I'm saying, right? I just feel like they're a bit slow in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
what? So they don't like jump out immediately. It's sort of like a hesitation.
Yeah, I would say so. In this particular game, anyway. So, like for example, I want to like if I was setting this up personally. I mean, obviously, I'm not a coach, but bear with me here. As soon as I see this player looking at that player, I want this player to jump onto that player. Right? That's what I want. Sorry, not that player. Sorry, apologies. This player here onto that player, right? And then you got this free player to then jump on that player, and so on and so forth. It's fine, right? They do that, but like JT said, it is a bit. I think it's a bit of a hesitation. This player receives the ball, so really, I'd want this player really to be like there by that point. Do you know what I mean? So I just think they're a bit thing, and this is what I was saying. If you are quick with your passing, I think you can get around their press actually quite simply. Not simply, but yeah, not quite easily. And so then, to be fair, this is their press kind of working because then that forces a player back. Good. But this is something that we can do. So actually, I feel like Feyenoord kind of not baited the press a little bit. He's receiving the ball, passes it straight in. He's going to pass it straight in. And this is again what I mean by their players being a little bit hesitant, because if your players are all jumping up, you want that player like there. You don't want them in a situation where this player here can turn, right? Anyway, he gets the ball, sees it, and then I don't really know what's going on here, but basically this player drops, fires it directly into that player. So this is what I'm saying. So pass it back to there, pass it back, one, two passes, and suddenly they're in this position, which some bad decision making, because he ends up going for this pass here when really, you want this player to move in there, pass there, and then that causes him to come in, and then that player can run on, and so on and so forth, right? And they'll have space. They'll have space, right? That's what you want. But this is what I'm saying. So once you bypass this, your quid's in really, and that is their defensive line. Was there might have been a centre back here. Wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no, so that is their back line, right? And like I'm saying, it was quite simple, and it was simple because it was hesitation. And I mean, let's be real here. We can 100% see, this being Lacroix, that being Wharton. Wharton all day long is going to bang a pass straight into this player here, probably Ismail Assar, and then Ismail Assar is suddenly in that position running at the opposition defence. And then, if we're smart about it, and I'm sure it will be, Daniel Munoz will be running down there as well to really try and stretch this back four in doing it. So, yeah, to be quick, and I think we can get around their press quite easily. What's another thing that we can do? Right, okay, let me go back onto this board. So when they do low block, it is a bit mixed, but generally you will find a low block. I mean, I wouldn't say that they particularly go in low blocks that often per se, but it will generally, the wingers will drop and it'll kind of be like a 4-5-1 perhaps, but it depends because the manager will give different players instructions to mark specific players. So I don't know. So for example, you could very well see one of the midfielders step out and it becomes like this, and then at a certain point of their press, it could be a case of, okay, well, the ball, like this player's here, the thing's in the way. I can't drop a ball. Right.
You dropped the ball there, mate.
I did drop the ball. Yeah, because it's behind. Oh, yeah, I can hide the share, can't I? Sorry, I'm an idiot. There we go. So, like, I don't know. Let's say we're here and Munoz drops and this. That player is going to push out because that's how they press. So then it's going to end up being like a 4-3-3. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like a rigid 4-5-1 or by any means. Just depends on maybe the players in their vicinity, whether they're marking them or in any way in which, because if we part, actually, that's what I didn't say and I should have said. That's what I should have said, sorry, and I didn't. Their press triggers are very much if any of our defenders were to pass backwards towards our goal, then that's when they will then jump. So, like I said, it could be a case of, this player's just coming to face Daniel Munoz. He's going to pass back, and then they're going to chase, and so on, right? And that's how they end up. So it's not really it's not a rigid low block per se. It's very much a case of, where we I don't know where we how they decide to mark or whatever. But there are a couple of things that we can do in this situation. So one thing, have I put it back? Yeah, I have. So one thing I noticed was that they don't really commit too many defenders to wide situations. So again, this is Feyenoord. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3 players of RZ defending, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players of Feyenoord. So if you have those kind of things, you can. So if you have those numbers there, I think you can play around them and you can get in behind that way. And then when you do get in this position, another thing that they are not very good at is defending back post. But to be fair, I feel like it's quite a common thing amongst a lot of teams, mainly because you look at this situation. Obviously, this player is kind of focused on stopping the cross, really, or providing a barrier. This player is watching that player and also holding the position. No idea about this player, so therefore this player is going to go onto that player. So that then leaves the question of, if someone comes there, who's gonna be watching them? Who's going to be tracking them? The answer is probably not many. So someone like Munoz, that could be a quids-in situation for them if you manage to manipulate this and get in behind. And again, you can see it here. To be honest, in here, because all of these players are marking someone. This player is probably kind of covering for this player, and obviously, if someone was to move in the back there, this player's watching that player. Someone's to move in the back, again, could be quids in.
You can see Munoz making that run, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the final goal. So let me just double check. Okay, that's fine. Oh, wait. Yeah, have we done that? I don't know why it's there. So the only other thing as well we could do is we could ensure that they're not in any shape as well. We are very good at doing that, attacking from when teams aren't in like a rested defense position. So again, this is a final game. This was my main source of information. So basically, this is going to get hooked up in the air. It's going to drop to this player, heads it down. It's a loose ball, recovery, won by this player. And, you can see the players out there. And then you got your rest defensive, your forward at the back there. You got your single defensive midfielder, as we saw earlier. Got a line there. And then loose ball goes down to this player. One touch is going to ping it here. And this is a common theme again. Play quickly. And I think you can get around them because they are a bit slow, in my opinion. Pass out to player there. And then this player, another one-touch pass goes to this player here, I think. I can't remember where it goes. But it ends up on the wing. And then this player is then going to pass it here. Admittedly, it's a very, very good touch. But, I mean, you'll see the position that he ends up in. He's turned. Basically, what he's done, he's received the ball and he's turned there. And then suddenly he's running in. And then suddenly there's a back three. And if you play your cards right, you got 4 versus 3, which you can do whatever you want with, right? So in these positions, if we win the ball and we're quick breaking out of it, we could theoretically end up in these positions. And if they do decide to play a low block, this could be something that we could look at because they're not just gonna hit it up the pitch and commit no players in the midfield. Like they're just not gonna do that. I think they're better than that. I think they're a decent team, and I think they'll do a bit more than that. So if we can find them in these positions, pick up the loose passes, and then generate, literally one-touch passes here, one-touch passes there, and then we can be there. And I've seen us do that. That's not beyond our scope. Finally, this was a goal that Feyenoord scored. I think it was their 3rd goal. It ended 3-3, by the way. And I think it just has a bit of everything about it. And it actually has something else that I haven't mentioned yet that I will pick up. So they have the ball here, passes it there. See, they got their shape 4-3-2. I think I'm not too sure. I'm not sure it's a player down there. You can see it better there. So 4-4-2. Anyway, they pass it out wide to this player. Here, like I said, they don't really tend to commit too many players forward. He passes it to this player, and then this player basically he passes it to someone down here, and he carries on his run, carries it on. So, like I said, you probably don't even need an attacking overload. Very simple. Bang it in there. Then you got this player here. Now, another thing to notice is that there's always a gap between the right back and the centre back. And then, okay, I thought I took another screenshot after. But anyway, basically, he ends up there, and then he's going to cut it across this player here in the box. And then this player manages to find another player over here, turns around to this player here. As you can see here, back post, not marked. Passes this player. Again, very nice football. Basically does like a nice little back flick to this player here. One shot, goal. So you can see several things in action there. You can see a relatively slow press. You can see the overlap out wide. You can then see they're not being marked to the back post. And then finally, a goal. So just to sum up, I think the best way we can beat them is we simply need to, I think we can play to their high press. I think we can do either, to be honest. I think we can, and also I think we should mix it up really, because at the end of the day, if they're not expecting it, if we're trying to be a bit more unpredictable, we can mix it up. Sometimes we can fire it into Mateo, who drops between those lines, between their high press and their rest defense, if you want to call it that. You could do something like that. And then also, to be honest, I think we're good enough to play out their press. If we're just a bit smart about it, we can draw in. If we draw their press in so far, like I can see Kamada and Wharton hitting the ball around the corner to someone else. I can see that 100%. It's risky, but high risk, high reward, I think.
To be fair, I think I see a world where I could see Pino dropping as well, becoming that third option in the middle. Because the amount of times that he's dropped in and he's flicked it around the corner. So it might have come off and it might not have. But the amount of times I've seen him drop in, flick the ball forwards to Mateta or Sarr, and then we've made an attack out of him just making space. Like maybe that extra little overload in our defensive area to create another passing lane might mess up their press and they'll have no idea what to do. Man free, and we'll have a little bit more going forwards. Like just changing it up slightly.
Yeah.
You never know what will happen because of how predictable their press is. We can use that against them.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like they do have a good press, but I just think because like they are a bit slow, like in the high press, and well, I mean they are slow, but like, not necessarily slow. Like they got a lot of energy, but like I just feel like they could be just like a couple of clicks faster. And yeah, it said like in their mid press is the same thing. Like it was 2 passes, and suddenly you were in.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't say their press is as refined as Bournemouth's or someone like that.
No, not like it's energetic, but I think they're maybe slightly too hesitant, perhaps. And then if we do get past them, their back post is vulnerable, and I think we can manipulate the wings to get crosses in as well. Another thing as well I forgot to say is that they're not that great at defending set pieces, so. If we do get a set piece goal early doors, then, they're going to have to come out and perhaps they'll work to our advantage a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's hard to say because will they come out and just play a low block? Possibly. They didn't against Feyenoord, and Feyenoord are probably about our level, I'd imagine. So, yeah, so I mean, it's hard to say, but I think I'm optimistic about Thursday.
Mm-hmm. So it's time for some score predictions. I have gone for 2-1 to Crystal Palace here, and the reason I've done that is because last time when we did this, and we looked at Larnaca, who haven't played a single low block this year, and then against us they played a low block, and then same thing pretty much with AZ Alkmaar again. They haven't played a low block, they haven't done this, but they are a very counter-attacking team that play a high line, so I do think goals will be scored. I don't think that their low block will be as low of a block. I do think they will try and play football and try and go forwards. They've got the players to do it. I think they'll back themselves and their manager will back his team to play their style. But I feel like it'll be a little bit more refined and a little bit more conservative, let's say, so they don't catch themselves out of position. Because I'm sure that what we can come up with, I'm sure that professionals will come up with that and maybe a bit more and what have you. But I think that it will be quite a cagey game. But I do think the second the first goal scored, if it's scored early, both teams have to change how they play. I think the team that scores originally has to go for that second goal, and the team that concedes will have to change. If they're sitting in a low block, they're going to have to come out. So I do think that both sides will score, and I reckon we'll edge it with maybe a scrappy goal from a corner or something like that with our good set pieces.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I'll be slightly different. I'll just say 2-0.
Was you going to say 2-1 as well, by any chance?
I was thinking about it. My initial thought was 2-0. But I was teetering between the two. But I'll go 2-0. I guess it also depends whether we're in the mood to take our chances, isn't it, really? Because I feel like we're in a position where we seem to make chances every single game. It's just whether we decide to take them or not.
Yeah. I mean, I said this it is completely off topic now, but I said to Rich and Ali before the Brentford game, I don't know why, I just had a feeling that we were going to batter them 4-0. And I was saying, I think we're going to do them 4-0 today. And everyone was looking at me crazy. But if we took our chances, we would have done them.
Yeah.
About that much.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is as well, like, I'm just looking at the Premier League table. Like, we've created the most XG of any team in the league.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane. Like, that's more than Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. Like we are literally
Yeah.
number one for XG
Because
in the
I was
whole
talking,
league.
because me and Matt were having a chat. It's gone way off topic, but me and Matt were having a conversation about this in the pub before. Oh, who was our last away game in London? I think it was it West Ham? No, it wasn't. Arsenal. Yeah, before the Arsenal
Yeah,
game, we were sitting there saying there's going to be one game this season because of how high our XG is and because we're making chances. There's going to be one game this year where we're going to just take our chance and we're going to absolutely murder someone.
yeah.
And for some reason, we both sat there and went, "It's going to be Brentford because it's a game that no one expects anything from."
yeah.
But like you see the thought process there. But
100%, 100%.
that game will not be on Thursday. That will be
Yeah.
a very cagey tight game, but still enjoyable. We don't get European nights at Selhurst enough.
100%.
Would you
Do
like
some
to take us
comments.
through some commentinios before we round out?
Thank you very much. Durfez is saying Yamashi's comment translates to keep it up. Good luck, Kamada. Thank you.
Which comment
Eric,
was that? Oh, this one.
Arigato, Yamashi. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in.
What does that mean?
Arigato just means thank you.
Cheers.
Kamada is playing great. I totally agree. Big up, Rich. Evening. It's going to be a tough game, 100%. And totally agree. Win is a priority. So I had a look the other day at the kind of points tally you need to be in the top 8 of this kind of setup. It seemed to be around about 11 points. 11 points was like the minimum to go up. So we're on 3. We're on 3 at the moment. So if we win this, we'll go on 6. So it's difficult.
2 more wins, realistically.
At least, yeah. At least, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, are you? I think you can afford to have one slip up in the groups, and so in the league phase, we've had our slip up, so we can't have any more. I mean, to be honest, if we say won all the games apart from Strasbourg, that would be a very good return. I think very good return. But we'll see about that. How would you feel about prioritizing conference games over Premier League games?
I think if you look at where we are in the table at the moment, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah,
because I said at the start, first people say, I think who was it that said? I think it was who was the guy? Ian, when he came and found us after the game. I think he asked me the exact same thing. Big up Ian. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he asked me what are my expectation is for this season. I said a good cup run in Europe, hopefully another good cup run in the FA Cup again or the Carabao Cup, and literally just staying in the Premier League. I think that would be a really good season because of the amount of games we're playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if
I would take a 15th.
Yeah,
as long as we got to, I don't know, the quarterfinals of the Conference League and we got to a semi-final of the Carabao Cup or something like that. I think that would be an amazing year.
Yeah. I agree.
Because I'm sure Burnley pretty much got relegated, but even though they only had group stages in the Europa League, I'm sure they really struggled.
I'm pretty sure Burnley didn't get past the qualifying. I don't think they did because back then you only went to like the 3rd round qualifying for the UEFA Cup, and I'm pretty sure they got knocked out if I remember correctly.
But it is extremely important to get top 8 because if you get top 8, then you don't play another Conference League game until February.
Yeah,
and bearing in mind we've got some African players which are mainstays in our team, like Ismail Assar, for example.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to play any more European games without those guys. We want to ideally get top 8, skip the next round where they will all be on AFCON duty, and then they'll be back for the next round. That's the ideal scenario. And to make it even more ideal, if you top the whole table, you then get the 24th pick team in the next round.
Oh, is that how it works? I didn't know that bit. I didn't know that bit.
Yeah, so basically, like, if you get top 8, you skip
Yeah.
the next round, and then
Yeah.
those next 12 teams play each other. And then if you get top of the whole thing, you play the bottom ranked one out that are still in it. And then second place, second bottom.
As in bottom ranked in terms of the league phase table. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
So basically, the better you do in the league, the easier it sets up the whole cup competition for you. And the easier the knockouts go.
Mhm.
I say easier in quotes because nothing's ever easy.
Well, of course, yeah. Big up, Nate. Win by any means necessary. Yeah, I agree. If we lose this, then every game after that has to be a win. I mean, obviously you can go through the playoffs, but like JC said, we want to avoid that if we can. Strong teams against AZ and Strasbourg, rotate against Shelbourne and Cups. Yeah, I think we really need to go into AZ and Strasbourg very highly, because the thing is, you get 2 wins out of that, you can actually, and then you get a win against Shelbourne, then the Cups game is, I'm not saying it's meaningless, but like, you're probably already through. So yeah. Durfus thinks it'll be 1-0, like Fredrikstad. Mary saying 2-1. I'm presuming that's to Palace. Name the ex-RZ player that plays for Liverpool. It will either be Gravenberch or it's not Frimpong. No, Frimpong. No.
Why the first
Gravenberch.
person that came to my mind was Simicas? Does he even play for them anymore?
I don't think he does. I think he left.
That's a good one to ask. What's the answer for that one, Pat?
The goat was thinking chocolate or gato. It's arigato. Hello,
UK Pat says he's not Dutch.
He's not Dutch.
Current Liverpool player.
Right, let's think about this. Like, so who's the goalkeeper? It's not Allison, not Frimpong.
What about Mav?
It's not Van Dijk. Wait, I know, but then to be fair, that's not necessarily they got. I know, but then Van Dijk's Dutch. Oh, but then if it's any RZ player, then I don't know. Oh wait, who was the yes to? Simicas.
For some reason, I just thought Simicas straight away. I had no idea why.
I thought he left. I thought Simicas left.
I'm sure. I don't know. Because he's. I think he's.
I'm not too sure, because to be honest, if it's who they bought it from, I might have
Kirkes.
Oh, he's Kirkes. Oh, okay.
No.
Because I knew he was at Leipzig before Bournemouth. I think he was at Leipzig, wasn't he? Was he at Leipzig? He was at one of the RB clubs. I'm sure he was. My favourite player. What's my perfect Sunday? My favourite player ever, probably Ronaldinho, to be honest.
To be fair, I never.
Now it's Wharton. I love Wharton.
To be fair, I never watched any. To be fair, I don't really watch any football outside of Palace. To be real, I don't feel anything for England. I watched the highlights for the Champions League just to see who scored and how the goal was. I'd probably say Wilfried Zaha. Really.
Oh, easy answer.
Oh yeah, no. My goat.
Oh yeah, of course.
My
Come on.
goat. He's still in the He's in the Russian league now.
See, Pat knows. Pat knows who your favourite player.
Better than me.
Yeah, Pat knows you better than you.
Yeah, Yaroslav Yak. What a guy.
What a guy.
Erdal Raktit. Remember him?
Erdal Rakit.
What a boy.
I wonder what they're both doing these days. Erdal Rakit is. So we've gone very off piste here. But he's a
Speroni.
Oh, so he got released from Antalyaspor last. Wait, and he's 29 as well. Like, he's not even old.
Max Meyer, where is he?
Oh, I looked him up the other day because we were talking about it at work.
He's 30 now.
Yeah, he's 30.
He's in the Cyprus League.
Yeah, that's it. He plays for Apoel, doesn't he?
Yeah, Apoel Nicosia.
Nicosia. And then
oh man,
I'm pretty sure Yaroslav Yak is back in the Polish league. I'm pretty sure.
Oh mate, who else
Oh
was
mate, he's been a proper journeyman in the Polish league.
who? Oh mate, who else was rubbish?
Oh, loads of players. We've had some
Oh,
proper
here's
crap.
one. Here's one for everyone in the chat. I asked Matt this, and he didn't have he had an answer for me, but I didn't think he was. I didn't think he fit the criteria. So the question was, who is the worst player to play for Palace? And my answer was Bakary Sacco because he was
Yeah,
awful, but he
no,
had a rocket of a left foot.
yeah.
And then Matt said Shamak, but I thought Shamak was actually a good player.
To be fair, when you said that, my first thought was actually Shamak.
I
Um,
thought he was a good player though.
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Sacco's a great shout because I remember when he scored when we lost to Brighton in that cup game. I think I ended up about 5-6 rows forwards.
Mate, when he
To be
scored
fair,
that goal against Burnley,
Sorloth wasn't good.
he wasn't good for us.
He wasn't good for us, so I don't think you can really
Like
count
they
him.
need to have a flash of something they did amazingly.
Like,
I mean, Matt
do you,
eventually settled on Fraser Campbell. He scored some important goals, even though he was awful. And I said, no, I think he was too bad to come into this conversation.
yeah. Do you put Townsend in that? I don't know.
The thing is, under Allardyce,
I
Townsend
feel-
was amazing.
Yeah, and then like Benteke, do you put because obviously Benteke got panned for like years, didn't he, for
Yeah.
being
And
rubbish? But
Mateta, he
obviously
was
before that, he was
crap
wicked.
until now.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was just crap though. But didn't he say that he did score against Brighton
A back heel against Brighton.
and back heel against Brighton and Millwall.
I mean, my shout was my second shout was Martin Kelly.
Oh, I love Martin Kelly was good. I wouldn't put he was just a squad rotation player, I think.
But I remember him getting cooked by Alexis Sanchez, but then also having like some outstanding
Yeah.
games and also some real stinky ones.
I mean, I don't know. Would you put say Patrick Van Aanholt in there? Good, because he was a terrible defender, but he's very good going forwards. Unironically, would be good for us now.
That'd be
Probably.
amazing for us now. Is he still at Gala or is he gone now?
No, he's not. He's actually at Sparta Rotterdam because he was on the bench for them when they played the other day.
Oh yeah. I think isn't Sebastian Haller playing for them as well now, isn't he?
I don't know.
Right, I'm sure he is.
I don't know.
Haller.
Bad
No, he plays for FC Utrecht in the Dutch league.
Mary's saying Thomas Brolin. Macapaka saying Sam Woods. No, best worst player, as in you think of him as a crap player, but
actually
they were actually decent. To be fair, I think Jordan Ay's a good
I
shout.
used the goat.
I used the goat. James McCarthy. Zeki Friars and Bamford were just bad. They just weren't good.
What about? No, he was good though, but he was always injured. I was thinking Connor Wickham, but he was good.
Jeffrey Schlupp.
Jeffrey Schlupp. There you go.
But was he good? I don't know. Was he good?
He had moments. He kind of fits the bill.
I suppose so. But I don't know.
Becky Friars was just awful.
He was awful. I wonder if he still plays football. So we've gone very off piece here. Thanks for staying tuned, guys. What?
Riedewald is a good shout.
Oh, right. No, okay. So he plays for, what the hell is this, man? Zeki Friars, right? So before that, he joined Macclesfield in 2022 in the Northern Premier League Division 1 West Side, Macclesfield, but left by mutual consent in October 2022. In February 2023, he joined Super Retten side. I don't even know what I'm quite good at the countries, but second division Swedish team, AFC Eskilstuna. The club is previously known under names such as FC Cafe Opera.
Oh, I found a team in the Dutch league called Go Ahead Eagles.
Oh yeah, there's Go Ahead. They're in the Conference League.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are. They are. Riedewald, Kouyaté. Right, guys. Sorry, we are going to have to. Sorry, I know we've been
Yeah.
going on. Good question, though. Maybe we could do a stream like that where we just answer like random questions like that. Get all of us on here.
International break's only in 2 weeks, so
That's a good idea.
there
It's a
you
good
go.
idea. Right, guys. Thank you very much.
I'm outroing. It's my
Yeah, I
host.
know. I said that, and then I realized halfway through that sentence, I was like, "Oh wait, hang on a minute. That's not me. That's not
Anyway,
me. Act like a
guys,
waste man. That's not
thank
me."
you very, very much for watching. We may have gone off piece a little bit at the end, but who cares? Next week we'll be back to regularly scheduled, where Dan will be hosting, he doing the attack, and then after we'll be back to normal again. So, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, up the palace, Eagles.
Eagles.